of Aquarius with your hosts, Dan Smeriglio and Josh Bernstein.
Time is here, Maine, and you have a choice on the Democrat side between a socialist and a communist. Gee, which one will you choose? And on the Republican side, let's face it, you have washed up, has-been Susan Collins. But what you don't know, you have another choice. And I am that choice. And I have been that choice since announcing last January. People ask, where have you gone? Are you still running for Senate? The answer is this: yes, I am. But in doing so, I had to spend more time getting attacked by the establishment and attacked by the people who said they wanted change, but all they did was condemn, criticize, and judge versus help and get involved. We lost our house, I lost my job, changes had to be made. I still have a house, but we can't afford to live there anymore. The price you pay for doing the right thing. You can't see anything about the campaign on social media. Social media, including X, is a joke. It's not a home for free speech. It's a home for oppression and suspension. As soon as we launched our Senate channel, it was deleted within 12 hours because the establishment fears the voice of truth. If you want to know what I'm doing and the things I have to say, go to VOPUSARadio.com and check out the Dan for Senate channel, and you can see all the videos as to where it began and how we got here. I told you over a year ago what it's going to be, and congratulations. While you were all trying to decide if I was a, quote, real Mainer, the establishment wins again. Your Marxist, communist, socialist piece of crap governor, she's a shoo-in for the Democrat candidate, and Rhino establishment hack is going to be your candidate on the Republican side. You want change? Write in change. Write in Dan Smeriglio. If called to serve, I will serve. But I am done sacrificing for people who don't want it. I'm done trying to prove myself to you. What I said over a year ago has come true. So now your choices are slim. Your state can no longer afford to be complacent and quiet because you are all complicit if you allow this to occur. If you want the change, write in the change. Vote for the change. I did this because you didn't. Because this country and this state needs a fighter. I'm here and ready to serve as I have always been. VOPUSARadio.com. I say the things that you're too afraid to say.
Well, there we have it.
I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I mean, what the hell, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was me like totally hogging the spotlight there for a second, but I made the decision. I mean, yes, I live in Ohio, but I'm still a homeowner and a taxpayer in Maine. And now people keep, saying, are you still running? I was wrong about you. You said this over a year ago. Well, no shit. So, you know what? Write me in. I'm ready. So,
it's interesting. Write-in candidates in particular, we see them in a lot of different states. We've seen them in Arizona. That actually screwed us up, honestly, in one of the elections for the Senate a while back. So it is kind of a careful, balance. But the bottom line is, if you have, Susan Collins or Olympia Snow, I mean, what's the difference between the two? I think Olympia Snow is already gone, but Susan Collins is the same exact thing. This is not a true Republican. Northeast Republicans, other than President Trump, are not what you would consider an actual conservative reformer type Republican, as we know them to be. Of course, you're one of them, but on the other side, you have a choice between what Nazi nipples and
Governor.
DEI, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Right. So there's only one choice. If anyone really wants true reform, or someone that's going to go after the establishment and not take bribes and not be beholden to the special interest groups, it's obviously you. So, I mean, hell yeah, write it in. I mean, how bad could it get in Maine, right? I mean, think about it. You would actually be really good change.
Thank you. You have nothing to lose. I mean, I have it right there on the website where the GOP chairman of Maine said you need at least $1 million to be a serious candidate. I'm like, oh, so it's not a legal citizen of age and no felony record. You have to have at least $1 million buy-in. So that's good. So I figure since they're not going to let me in the primary, get on the ballot anyway. They already basically told me that.
It'd be great if you could get onto the debate stage somehow.
I know.
You should petition for that.
Right? Because in 2010, the USA Today 2009, they did a piece because I was attacking John McCain, of course, about my stance against legal immigration. They said that Senator Susan Collins said that you're a troubled young man with hate group tendencies or whatever. And they said, what is your response to her? I said, well, thanks for the proof of life. And I said, well, luckily nobody cares. Cover your ears, people. I said, nobody cares what that troglodyte cunt has to say. And the reporter, excuse me, do you want me to write that? I said verbatim. So
nice.
Hey,
yeah,
I've hated her
kick
for
him right where it hurts. That's
I don't care. I don't care. So, Josh, welcome to the show. I know this is a big day for a bunch of you people that swore off sports but still continue to watch anyway. Right now, there's
who needs to see the bad, I don't know, Bolshevik bisexual Bugs Bunny or whatever the hell it is.
And
by the way, I just went on YouTube a little bit ago just to look, and there's a live recording, obviously, of the alternative Turning Point halftime show, and it had 87,000 people watching live. And then the Bugs Bunny thing had 30,000 people. As I predicted on X a couple of days ago, maybe not live as far as views, but in the next couple of days, 2 weeks, I guarantee you that the Turning Point halftime alternative show outperforms whatever Bugs Bunny's doing in total views on social media over time. About a week. Give it about a week, maybe 2 tops.
Well, that's good because I just wonder because of whatever's happening tonight if the tranny coyote can walk on the ice. Whether do they stop? Do they take the nets down or do they shoot the hoops or the things in the game? Whoever's going to win is going to win by a par 9. Whatever. I don't even know who's playing. I honest to God, I have no idea who's playing. I just don't care. I don't even know where it is. Where is the Super Bowl?
I think it's in California, but I'm not sure. But who's playing? It's the Seahawks and the Patriots, which is basically a rematch from many years ago. I was a football fan, and I still love my Arizona Cardinals. But the fact that they were going to have this, bisexual, trans testicle fruitcake doing the halftime show when millions of Americans said don't do it and they did it anyway, which was a giant FU to the American people, I'm not going to watch that shit. I'll see the highlights afterwards, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it live. This is the first year in a long time that I haven't.
Really? I haven't watched it literally since I held out hope. I said there's one team that won't do it. And unfortunately, New York Giants members took a knee, except my man Eli, of course. He refused to. And then that was it for me. And then it worked out good because Eli retired anyway after they screwed him over. So I haven't watched the game since. I did watch the USXFL thing just because I do love football. I hate to admit that, but so I waited for my spring football league, which is absolute dog shit.
Well,
but
one thing I will say is I did a show before this one with Jason in Australia, and I didn't even realize that the Trump administration did this. I actually told the Trump people to make sure that the State of the Union address, he talks about the baby accounts, because no one in the media is talking about it. It's one of the most incredible things ever done for anyone, for any generation, right? And apparently there is, and I haven't seen it yet, but there is an ad, other than the little clip that was showed in the last show that I was in, there's an ad for the baby accounts. This is absolute brilliance, because the media prostitutes are not going to talk about it. No one else is really talking about it. Now you have a captive audience of people from all over the political spectrum saying, what? I didn't know about this. Wow, this is really cool. And I predict Trump's numbers go up 4 or 5 percentage points in the next week to 2 weeks, maybe even sooner than that, just from this one thing alone.
No, it's a genius. The ad is great, and I think it is genius. And I know I was hoping I saw a video before. Apparently, America-hating scumbag commie Mark Cuban was in front of Congress this week. And while he was being questioned by Senator Tuberville, he actually said that, he goes, people might be surprised by this, but I think TrumpRx.com is genius. And he said that I look forward to working with him. It's the best thing to happen for healthcare, but notably prescription drugs, since my whatever his thing is, but it's even better than that. So he looks forward to helping President Trump, and he's still trying to get his way in. I swear to God.
I think ultimately the fact that it's called Trump RX, they hate it. They'd rather die than use it, right? And I
Mhm.
love the fact that he names everything Trump
Yes,
Kennedy Center, right?
love
All
it.
these different things. It's just awesome. Just keep kicking them right in the nuts. I
Mhm.
love it.
I still love the Don Rowe doctrine.
Donroe Doctrine.
I
Yep.
thought that was great.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be talking about him because he's obviously a racist. Did you see that heinous video? Oh my God,
Oh,
the
come on.
monkeys. When he put out the post on True Social that he wanted to apologize to the ape community or the monkey community because he heard that they were very offended by being compared to the Obamas. I'm like, this
Dude,
man,
this guy's
like,
the best troller ever.
there was no staffer there. Everybody had to
No.
watch the whole video to get to the last second.
Exactly.
Genius.
And that's the thing. That's what the left does, that right? They like to just clip a little bit of something. They don't give you any context of what the ad is about or anything. It's just, oh, look, he showed Barack Obama and Big Mike as monkeys, right? Well, what's the reality here? Number one, this was a second video. The original video, which was similar, was done by Xeris on X, phenomenal meme maker. Then he makes this one, right? But you got to understand the context of what this is. And these people on the left are so stupid, they don't understand what the context is. They've been calling President Trump the king, right? No kings rally. They think he's a king. So obviously the meme was he's the king, right? It's mocking them. He's the king of the jungle. And all the animals are his servants, right? That's what this whole ad is about. It's about the fact that it's a hierarchy in Washington. The animals that he's the king of are the political swamp creatures. This is where they don't understand brainwise. They can't get there on this, right? So Joe Biden in this was also a monkey. So it wasn't just Big Mike and it wasn't just Barack Obama, it was also Joe Biden. So how can you say that this was, quote, racist, unless you think that Joe Biden is a black monkey, I guess, as well? So it doesn't really make any sense. But that doesn't matter because the outrage mafia immediately snips a little bit of it and tries to run with it. But you know what? President Trump said, I don't think so. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to apologize. This is not going to be my macaca moment, where I stick my tail between my legs and run off and hide into the corner. He was like, nope, I'm going to double, triple, quadruple down. That's exactly what I would do when I was asked in the past to apologize.
Absolutely. It was epic. And in the video, I was surprised that we didn't have it's more relevant to modern day. So JB Pritzker, of course, was the elephant, or whatever it was,
He should have been a giant pig, but
I
whatever.
know. Well, wasn't Hillary the pig? Or
I
one of
think,
the
I don't
pigs?
know.
Or,
One of
well,
them
Kamala
was.
and Hillary. And yeah, it was so great. It was so great.
Yeah.
And of course, our fake little rhinos, that nappy haired little douchebag, Tom Massey, with the lesbo libtard wife. So he was on CNN today, apparently, like, he's outraged by President Trump. You know what? I want him gone. I've never ever liked him. I hate him so hard. And I really hate that man.
Thomas Masshole.
Yes, masshole. I've never liked him. He's a disgusting little squirmy piece of shit, fake fraud. But in the current poll, I mean, they had to show it even on CNN that his the person challenging him, the Trump endorsed guy, is whooping his ass big time. Which gives me some hope because Kentucky, let's face it, you're not that bad, Kentucky. You've just been rigged you were where it began, and it's just gotten worse.
You got Mitch McConnell.
Yes.
Basically.
So, it's fun to see. And then, of course, Tim Scott has to come out and, I expect better. Fuck you, Tim Scott. Honestly,
Thank God he didn't pick Tim Scott, honestly.
Could you
that would have been a
imagine?
disaster.
Oh my God. I was so happy that, again, I wasn't happy at first, but now I am happy.
Yeah, exactly. With JD Vance, I was kind of like, what's going on here? Why is this guy being chosen? Why isn't it Dr. Ben Carson?
Yep.
That's who I wanted. And I have to say that it has turned out really, really well. And, we saw, what's his name? Enton, the guy on CNN. I don't know how that guy's still alive, right? The guy on CNN that does all the charts and things like that, showing about Harry Enton, I think his name is. Yeah, Harry Enton didn't kill himself. I digress. But anyway, so he's showing that J.D. Vance is actually more popular than even President Trump with some of the numbers, I guess it was like one of those Monmouth polls or whatever. It was a left-wing poll. So add 5 points to every one of those polls.
Yeah.
But still, it was like 90% support. So the MAGA movement's not going anywhere. It's just going to continue on past President Trump.
I love the one tweet that JD put out, that when somebody was saying that this is the man that called what's his face from Minnesota a retard, and how are we ever going to get beyond this? He doesn't care about the mentally handicapped community. And JD quote tweeted it, and he literally said, he goes, "You're still on this?" He goes, "It's been about 3 weeks already." He's like, "My God." He goes, "You're right. I can't believe he didn't say what I wanted him to say either." He goes, "So let me clarify that for you. He's a fucking retard." I'm like,
Nice.
You know what?
Exactly.
And even during the Tucker Carlson, during that special when he was on the campaign trail with Trump and the debate night, and then Trump walked back there, and JD's like, "No," he's like, "F them. You go effing hard." He goes, Don't play games." He goes, "Effing wreck them. F them. Fuck."
Yeah,
he was like, all right, like, this is cool. Like, maybe he's gonna be all right. And
these are all fighters. I mean, President Trump, JD Vance, Scott Besson is hysterical.
Scott Besson's a beast.
I mean, these guys, even Pete Hegseth.
Yes.
We want warriors, not wokesters. We are no longer going to work with Havid. So I just love it. All these guys are on the same page. They just want America to be great, and they are tired of the bullshit from the left.
Yep. And it's been epic, man. So I've been enjoying things, and I still like every doomsayer out there just getting trolled nonstop. I mean, I haven't paid attention to the genesis of it, but I've seen a lot of things coming out, especially in the last 24 hours, about Steve Bannon again. And did something else get revealed, or what's?
Well, there's that video. It's like a documentary, basically, of Epstein being interviewed by Steve Bannon. It's like 2 hours long. I actually played it on my Substack a couple of days ago. And, I mean, it's pretty extensive. They talk about the Trilateral Commission. They talk about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all the globalists, where he kind of like came from, how he got to power, who his financial backers were. I mean, it's pretty extensive. And of course, in the thing, I mean, I have to say, if you watch it, Jeffrey Epstein is definitely an intelligent person and kind of, an intellectual, but he's also a sick bastard too. Let's not get away from what he's done. But you can see the cunning, you can see the manipulative deception in the way he carries himself. He's very, very deceptive. And even in that interview, you can just kind of figure out what he's really thinking in his mind before he says what he's saying, which doesn't match what he's thinking. But you can definitely tell he was an absolute sinister individual, and the things that he did and things that he got away with doing and all the connections. And that's the thing about these Epstein files. It's like, it's coming. You know what I mean? Like, it's still coming. And, we had that situation a while back where this administration, the Department of Justice, tried to say, "Okay, everyone, here you go. Here's your binders," right, of all old shit that was like we talked about years ago, right? And these morons are standing up there shaking it like it's the Bible. But in reality, what happened? Congress said, "Sorry, but we're going to vote on this. We're going to pass a law. President Trump's going to sign it into law, and we're going to expose all of these people." And that's what's happening. And obviously the majority are clearly on the left. But, man, there's some sick, crazy things, including the fact that they actually said, and we all know that he didn't kill himself. He didn't hang himself. I mean, he was killed, clearly. But they are now saying that there was a mention by Berman, who was the prosecutor at the Southern District of New York, who, by the way, is extremely close with the Clintons. Gee, no coincidence there that trying to cover that up, right? No. And so he actually came out a day before, August, I think, 9th, and said that he was dead. The day before, he actually was dead. So there's no question anymore. I mean, no one can say that this was a hanging. Because if you do, then you're just denying facts. Yeah. Because the emails now show that he was murdered, 100%.
Absolutely. And I mean, I do enjoy even seeing that douchebag Bill Maher have to admit, and so many people. I mean, let's face it. Again, I follow everything. All right. That's just me. I've been following everything because you know, when we're in it as long as we are, it's like you can feel a little lonely. It's like there's somebody out there that gets it. So anonymous, I was like, all right, for most of it. And then it got a little fractured, and then the Q stuff came out, and now you have people like even Bill Maher, like, you know, Q people deserved an apology. And it's like we're talking about baby mills, we're talking about, you know, drinking the blood, the sacrifice. Like, yeah, well, again,
he laughed at that stuff, but we
yes,
know through
yes,
Marina, what was her name, Abramovich or whatever,
Marina
you
Abramovich,
know.
yeah.
And I talked about this on Jason's show, and I'll briefly say it because I don't want my audience to hear me repeating the same thing all the time. But your audience is a little bit different, so let me explain. We already had an Epstein reveal. Okay, it was years ago. It was the Black Book, because I covered the Black Book back in 2019, and I went through and read a whole bunch of names, like 45, 50 names. But think about this for a second. We've already had a Epstein release years ago. It was called what? WikiLeaks Vault 7.
Yep.
And WikiLeaks Vault 7 was the first Epstein leak, because in that we learned about John Podesta, we learned about Abramovich, we learned about all the sick satanic rituals that they were doing, all the little pictures of like children being sacrificed and all this other crazy stuff. Not to mention, we also learned about Seth Rich and his murder, right? Because Neera Tanden, who was famous here now with the AutoPen scandal, was all over WikiLeaks Vault 7. She was having a conversation about Seth Rich with John Podesta and asked him, what should we do? And Podesta replied, what? Wet works.
Yep.
Well, that's all you really need to know there, because then the next thing you know, Seth Rich is laying in a street in Washington with a couple of bullets in him, but his cell phone's there, his keys are there, his wallet's there, his identification's there, all of his stuff is there. So obviously it wasn't a robbery, right? Unreal.
It's amazing. So I do like a lot of these things, and some people being validated, and then the ones that started out with that one side pushing it, then turned against it. Now they're sitting there saying, well, I told. Alex Jones was on the other day with Liz Crokin, and I gotta admit, like, Alex, love you, but watching him try to pivot, I knew Q was real. You know, I was asked to be a part of it, and then I knew it was taking over.
You do a good Alex Jones. Holy shit!
I'll tell you right now, but I'm actually, I hate Trump. I love Trump. I love Trump. I hate Trump. But
here's some dick pills for you.
Yeah, take these Ozempic of the sea moss. I'll tell you right now, this might be our last day. Give us money. Anyway, but
you did a good job there.
Thank you.
I'm sure my audience will love that.
Thank you. My audience is used to it. I did, like I said, I did my Politishock the other night. I was going to do it like a reintroduction to Politishock, like a simple 2-hour episode. It's 3.5 hours. And I just had a bullshit session with the audience, and everybody was there. So, and I see a lot of them in the chat room. I love you. Thank you. And it's just funny, man. But watching him have to pivot back to, the Q stuff, I think it's been reclaimed. And, now it's very factually accurate. And I said it all along. And it's like, oh, God. Okay. But it's interesting to see all these worlds colliding, man. I'm telling you, the next couple big things are going to happen before the State of the Union, but everybody keep paying attention, man. July 4th. That is Trump deadline number 1. That is his big. He wants something massive, and there's going to be massive things. I tried to guess. People were asking me the other night on the show, what do you think it's going to be before July 4th? I'm like, there's a couple things, but I don't even want to guess. Because I think that there's a lot of stuff happening, and it's evident, it's playing out, and it's following a certain narrative. Just like Trump the other day, that I feel bad that Bill Clinton, we were friends once, Trump turned on us. He betrayed us again. He's saying nice things about, you don't know Trump's mind by now. All these people, I tell everybody, I read it in the 6th grade. I did a report on it. But if you read The Art of the Deal, you know how the man operates. It was literally his playbook. He shared it with the world.
And that's what he's been doing on the world stage. And I said this the other day. Isn't it interesting that it's easier to change world global affairs and the world order around the entire globe with one man being able to do that than it is to get anything done in Washington and in Congress, because you got to fight your own people? Look, I'll tell you right now, we've got to pass the SAVE Act. I don't care how we have to do it. I don't care if it's done at fucking gunpoint. Okay? It has to be done. Because if that's passed, everything else is going to work out fine because now you have voter ID mandatory. And here's the other thing, and I'll say this right now, something I've been thinking about. If we can't get this done and passed, well, then we need to start doing some ballot initiatives, just like I talk about in preserving liberty. I talk about the activism part of things. Let's get some ballot initiatives in all these different states to pass the SAVE Act or that state's version of the SAVE Act. So if you won't do it at the federal level, we'll just put it in front of the voters and we'll get it done that way.
Yes.
And so that's going to be something I'll be looking into. But hopefully, they're going to come together and figure out a way to get this thing passed. I mean, you can do it through a budget reconciliation. I said the other day, it's obviously, controversial. Cut DHS funding. Go ahead. In lieu of passing the SAVE Act. Because I think the SAVE Act is way more important. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely, because that's going to keep the Democrats from power for a very long time.
And you can get DHS funding in so many other locations. It's ridiculous.
Yes. I mean, it's common sense. And real quick, shout out Demons Among Us. I of course, I always have. He was in my video that I played. You might have missed it, but tune in Thursday. You'll see it. But Robert Wessels is my buddy and love the guy. And he's running for governor in Maine, a noble task, because believe me, all the con inc disgusting heathens are against him too. He's just, as I told him when I had him on the show, he's so nice and professional. I'm like, God love you, man. And like, I'm that screaming, raging guy. And he's just like, he's good. But anyway,
we need some of those people too.
Yeah.
Balance us out.
And shout out, because we had a birthday celebration on Wednesday. It was on Wednesday with my man here, and it was a great time, man.
That was so fun. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for coming, and of course, the people from the Rage audience as well, and then of course my folks. And it was just great. It was a lot of fun. It was more relaxed. It wasn't so structured. It was just kicking back and just having fun and just talking about a bunch of different things and really just getting able to hear from the folks how they discovered me and how long they've been with me. It's just very humbling, and I just really appreciate it. It was awesome.
Dude, you earned it, and that's what it comes down to. See, I would love to do something like that, but the only ones that would show up if I did something like that would be my haters, and they would come on, which would be epic. It's fun. That's why I'm going to start the call-ins again, which is going to be very interesting, because it used to be nothing but a war. It was great radio.
That would be cool if I could find, like, let's say 6 or 7 people that have written nasty things about me, and bring them on and have them explain what they meant, what they thought at the time, and if they still feel that way about me, and then let me retort what they said. That would be a blast. I don't know how I would be able to do that.
It's not hard
to some of those folks.
Hey, we should try to put together a Rage of Aquarius special. We'll do 2 hours. Bring the first hour. Bring your haters on, and then me. I could just spit and I'll hit one. So bring my haters on. So it'd be epic.
It'd be fun.
The phone lines are only open to those who hate us.
Right.
That's it. That would be great. But so as we continue on the Rage of Aquarius momentum here, because it's gaining more and more popularity week, which is very cool. Mm-hmm. But it's still the Aquarian season. So again, now our birthdays are out of the way.
It's Black History Month, right?
It is.
So every Black History Month, I do this every year, no matter what. I drop a video in Black History Month only that explains the historical context and history of Black-owned slaves. Yeah. So in other words, blacks that were freed and then decided to then own themselves and own other blacks. And because, the narrative is that it's always old white Southerners, right? No, let's talk about the fact that some of the biggest slave owners, especially in Louisiana and other states in the South, they were blacks. So I'll be dropping that probably, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'll put some money on it, send it out there, see how much hate mail we get.
Oh, that's always a good time, man, because I always like to play. Of course, I love my guys. I like to play, Martin Luther King Jr. I want them judged by the content, the character, and the color of skin. What he meant to say was blacks only. And Malcolm X warning the world about the most dangerous, thing of them all, the white liberal. But no,
these were not leftists.
No,
really. No, they were at least independent to conservatives, even.
Yeah,
they really were. Except one was, a rapist, but that's a story for another day. Sicko.
We'll talk about during Italian History Month. Oh, I'm sorry. Caucasian History Month. Oh, I'm sorry. White History Month. Oh, I'm sorry. Straight Month.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
No, only black, huh?
No, only black.
Yeah.
But it's all about inclusion. Anyway, but yeah, dude, there's so much. There's so much. All right. So what I know you shared it with me and I loved it. So you want to go there?
Yeah, what else was there? There was a bunch of different things that I sent to you. I was like, we need to cover this, we need to cover that.
I know, and I suck at responding sometimes.
I have it.
My
Wait,
phone.
no, it's right here. So I think the really interesting one was, let's see, what did I send to you? This Guffrey story. Who gives a shit about this? I don't. You know, the bottom line is this looks like an inside job. Completely an inside job. There's no question about it. Now we have this Silence of the Lambs reference where she's like, you know, if you knew my mother, you'd like her, you'll see. And then you got the same thing with the Silence of the Lambs movie where she's like, oh, my missing daughter, you know, if you got to know her, you'd like her, you'll see. Almost identical. So we talked about that in the other show. But the bottom line is, I say this. Let's just say Sean Hannity, who I absolutely detest for other reasons, personal reasons. But let's just say Sean Hannity's mother ended up being kidnapped or missing. Do you really think ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSLSD, or MS Now, whatever the hell they want to call themselves, do you think that they would be talking about that incessantly 24/7? I mean, I haven't been able to watch any other news because every single time I turn on the news, even conservative news, they're talking about this 84-year-old woman who's missing. Now, couple things. Number one, that's terrible. I'm sad to hear that. I hope that she's okay and she's found. But what about all the victims of illegal aliens? What about the 300,000 children that were child trafficked during the Autopen years? Where is the outcry and love and support for them? Or is it just because this was a famous prostitute and the prostitute's mother? It's ridiculous. And the bottom line is nobody really gives a shit. I would rather watch synchronized lesbian swimming competitions from Frog Balls, Kentucky than hear one more fucking second of it.
Is that going on right now? Is there some Olympics going on right now? You know, more dyke bitches that hate America. Sorry. I mean,
well, wait a minute. What about the dildo wars?
Oh yeah,
we gotta talk about this.
We gotta go there. Oh yeah.
I don't know if anyone's seen the video, but anyway, there's an SUV or a truck or whatever that's driving through, and for some reason, these leftist wackos have these dildos, all different colored dildos, and they're tossing them and throwing them at the vehicles, and then they're sticking them like they're sticking them on the hood and on the windshield of the car. And I'm thinking to myself, why are they doing this? Number one, and thankfully, because they're all gay and weird and trans, I was surprised that some of them weren't going to like get naked and like mount themselves on it right on the cars, right? These sick bastards wouldn't want to see that. But what's this dildo thing now? All of a sudden they're throwing dildos? I mean, are they trying to say that we are a bunch of fucking dildos and so therefore we're going to throw dildos because we have nothing else to do, we're freezing to death, and basically we've lost? Because obviously the Supreme Court came through for us.
You obviously lost the narrative, you racist heathen. All right. First off, we don't care about the women and children, only the oppressed women and children that Trump is going after. We care about the criminals. All right. So the women and children going missing and murdered and raped and beaten and everything, we don't care about them. That's racist to talk about them. All
Collateral damage for allowing open borders.
No. Well, no. Yeah, that's just, it has to be. We don't care about the black women or any or the Hispanics. No. That's very racist of you to talk about. How dare you? And the dildos, it's obviously the way to take down the patriarchy and, you know, to protest the king in the White House. And it's sending a clear signal that our Technicolor dildo is how we're going to fight back against our oppressors. It is the most common sense thing I've ever seen. And kudos to them for being brave and bold to do it. How dare you not understand their logic?
They should take these dildos and just shove them straight up their own asses. That's all.
Well, they probably do.
That's all they need to do. And that's probably what they're doing anyway. And then share them with their friends. Here, open up.
You know?
I don't understand this. I don't get it. Why would you, out of all the things to throw at a car, I mean, are you really going to hurt somebody with a rubber dildo? It's just so stupid. It just goes to show how stupid they are. And it just makes their whole entire argument against what they think they stand for, total bullshit and a sham. And
Yeah.
the American people can finally see that. Because maybe at one point they might be like independents, not like people that are, really paying attention, but they might be like, well, yeah, the ice is a little da-da-da. And then all of a sudden they're going, wait a minute, these guys are throwing dildos at each other? Oh, fuck them. They're stupid. Right?
Yeah.
And so they lost all credibility, if they had any at all, which I don't think they did.
They didn't. They really didn't. And
Nope.
have you seen this Ben Bankus comedian yet?
I love this guy.
Freaking great.
Absolutely
man.
love him. He is phenomenal.
You know what? God bless him. I mean, I'm sure he's being propped up by somebody, but how the hell that dude's still alive is beyond me, but I love him.
He's great.
He's a national treasure.
What a comedian for our time.
Right?
What a needed voice for our time, right?
He's
great.
Old, that's old.
6 of
comedy.
his sold out shows in Minnesota or whatever. I call it Somalisoda.
Yeah.
But in that area were canceled because he dared to have a joke about Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And so it's like, he's like, I don't hate her. I didn't hate her. Not until after I heard her. Then I hated her. You know? He's like, but we don't make fun of people that die. We leave that for dinner table conversations.
That's right. We cheer it on there. He's like,
he's awesome.
That
guy's awesome.
It's been
Please
good.
protect
right?
him, God.
Yes, he is so great. I like what they say that you're an American Nazi, and he's like, I'm a fucking Canadian. He's like,
yeah. That's the thing. Stephen Miller is a Jew.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I was called a Nazi all the time. Obviously, I don't have hair. But that's not. But that's more like because I can't do anything else. That's just I'm bald and that's it. But it's so funny. It's like he's bald too, and he's Jewish, and yet they call him a Nazi, just like they would call me a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's like this just shows how stupid they are.
It's the complete lack of any, again, you can't help, and I used to do this, right? When the reporters would come at me and they started asking me these questions, first thing I do is laugh at them. And what's so funny? What's so funny? What's so funny? And they had their hand in my face. What's so funny? I'm like, you're pathetic. And you called me pathetic? I'm like, I'm sorry. Let me make it more, palpable for you. You're fucking pathetic. You're a loser. You're a life's loser. Nobody cares about you. It's like when they ask me, you're protesting illegal immigration, but what's your plan to rescue the people in the horrendous environment in Mexico, huh? I said, well, first thing I'm going to say this, I say illegal, you say Mexican, so who's the real racist here, huh? And I said, secondarily, I don't give a flying shit about what's going on in Mexico because I'm an American. We had a little thing called our Declaration of Independence. Grow some balls and do it yourselves, all right? I don't care.
Exactly. And they think we should care.
No.
Which is even weirder. Why should we care?
It's like when Trump gave this.
We care about our country. Fuck everybody else.
Exactly. When Trump gave that speech to the UN during his first term, he's like, what he did his little Rocket Man thing, which I still thought that was great. But when he said about Iran, when it said about Saudi Arabia, it should be Saudi Arabia first, Russia first, Iran first. You should put the people first because we are America first. I'm like, yes.
I say that all the time.
Right?
And it's so true. We should all be nationalists for our own countries.
Damn straight. I'm proud to say I'm an American nationalist,
Absolutely. I'm white, right? White nationalist.
Well, you are what you identify as. But I really think you're a Mossad skinhead. But
maybe
that's for another day. We're gonna deep dive you anyway. But we're gonna expose.
I'm not in the Epstein files. I can fucking guarantee you that.
Okay, BB. I mean, gosh, I see you. I see you for who you are.
That's
anyway,
right.
This ad's been brought to you by Tel Aviv Tourism and Travel. Anyway, but
Baby, get out of here. Get out of here.
Tell them to shut up. All right, and we want our payment. By the way, you're late.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
This is week 6 now. Come on, pay up. Anyway. But that's interesting. I haven't seen the maybe I missed it because when I do my ingest of the social media bullshit, has there been a triumphant level of Jew hate in the last week, or it seemed a little quiet?
It's been that's good, I guess, right? All quiet on the Western Front.
Well, it comes from only the right, but
you know what though? It's just a matter of time. I mean, it's always there. It always comes out. There's always going to be somebody that's going to say something. And, as Jews, that's what we just live with. But I think I've always used comedy and viciousness to attack back. So when they say anything about me, I go right for their mothers immediately. Their mothers. And then you get comments back like, my mother died 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, really? Well, what about your sister then? Like I'm brutal. I don't care. When I get comments against me, I go right for their mother. I'll kill you, you son of a bitch. You don't know my mother. I'm like, yeah, I knew her last night. I gave her my big Hebrew national. I just fucking drill them right in. And so a lot of people don't usually attack me that much unless it's in an email. I get a lot of emails,
Wow,
Josh
that's old
Bernstein,
school.
you Nazi bastard, motherfucking this, that, But whatever.
Wow.
It is.
Look at you. You still getting email hate. Jeez.
Every now and then. Yeah,
Well,
every now and then.
impressive.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, they're keeping it, OG. I like that.
It's good reading material when I'm taking a shit. So
That's true. That's true. I mean, have you got any hate for this show yet, or are they slow to the?
No, I haven't had any hate. I've had a couple of people basically say that one of the parts of the show that they didn't like was a lot of the language, and we've been kind of cutting it back a little bit. We can still be savage, we can still be raw and raging and everything else, but just keeping that a little on the lower side, I think, has been a lot better, because a couple of people have said I'm watching it now a lot more, and I look forward to the show. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. They love our back and forth, our banter. They love the rawness of this show. So I think we're definitely doing something good, and I want to continue to do that. So
Good. Well, that's awesome. My people be like, you don't curse enough.
Yeah, well,
I
it's kind of got to go back there in the balance in the middle there. So I think you can say a lot sometimes without doing it.
Yes.
But there's other times where an F-bomb drop makes the point. So I get it.
It's funny. People are like, how come you do any rants this week? I'm like, listen, I don't curse to be shocking. All right. Like, you get real emotional response from me. So it's like, no. And when I did my 2 months of PolitiShock where I didn't say one curse word whatsoever, people are like, I didn't know you had it in you. I'm like, I actually don't enjoy cursing, and I could actually use words that you might not understand. So therefore I have to, like the man says, you have to dumb it down to a third grade level to be easily, absorbed by the general populace. But when I curse, when I go off my rants, it's like, that's an emotional response because I'm pissed, and it's people think it's it's an act. No, I mean, Josh and I, during our production meetings where we go over the script for the show, we talk about what we are and aren't going to say. Of course, I'm completely bullshitting you. Hell, I suck at even returning text messages. I literally don't look at my phone sometimes. So some of us can just be real and just have these conversations. And if we say something and we're passionate, it's gonna come out,
Yeah, and I think also, if you built up an audience over time, they know you, they kind of understand your personality, that kind of thing. If you say something they don't agree with or is shocking, they're not going to not stop watching. They're going to be like, oh, that's just him, and boom, move on, because they know what to expect next time. You know what I mean? And so, and with my audience in particular, they know that whatever the story is that I'm covering on how bad it could be or not be is typically whether or not I'm outraged. If it's something that is so crazy that it has to be stopped immediately, believe me, I'll be focused 100%, and I'll be loud and be like, we got to stop this right and now, that kind of thing. But it really just depends on the subject matter. If we're talking about polling, I'm not going to be like, it just depends. If it's for me, there's two segments of society that really will piss me off if you go after them. And those are the most vulnerable: children and the elderly. So stories about children and the elderly, I'll get animated almost immediately. Because I have a passion to protect. So
same, and that's where I go off on some of my biggest rants when I talk about the child sex trafficking and the things like that. I go really hard, and it's just hard for me to hold back, and I don't let it go, and I'm gonna I'm gonna react the way that I react, and it is what it is, and it's funny because somebody had said to me once about with the campaign thing, oh, what if they're gonna use your shows against you? Like, God, I hope so. Please, I dare you. Please. That's why in all the attacks I've received and everybody hating on me, they never brought up one thing. He's a conservative radio show host. I'm like, oh, so the cop vet thing, all that other kids, we don't talk about that. He's a conservative radio host, right?
Well, that's better than what I would get. Conspiracy theorist and right-wing extremist.
That's
what they would say on my Wikipedia. The good thing about Wikipedia is that I can't edit it. No one can, the editors have to edit it. So once they see something like that, they usually will go in a day or two later and correct it. But they tried over and over and over, and they just kept having to edit it and all this other stuff. And you can't edit your own stuff. So you might pull up your Wikipedia one day and it's like, Josh Bernstein is a bald-headed Nazi prick. There's nothing you can do about it. Maybe 3 or 4 days later, they'll change it back to, TV show, whatever.
Just a prick.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just weird that, you can't do it yourself. You can't see something in your wiki and go, I don't like that. You can't do that because it's like public and they have people that do it. I don't know. It's weird.
It's just all horse shit,
Yeah,
I mean, all of it is.
And they lie anyway. I mean, Wikipedia is left wing,
all of it's left wing crap, And shout out, just because I'm going to put him out there because we, in our pre-show meeting, which was a minute before we went live, the man who's usually dressed to the part, he's rocking the hoodie. So listen,
I just figured, you know what? If you got a hat on, then I'm going to wear my.
There you go. Wait. Oh, hold on. Let me give you a full screen here. There we go.
I've had this this hoodie for, I don't know, 8-9 years, probably somewhere around there. This is one of my favorite ones. I mean, I literally could be in a tank top and shorts because it's that warm already. But I'll pretend that it's cold in my studio and I'm freezing like all of you on the East Coast. And I got my hat on to keep my head warm because I'm bald. So I'll play the game.
It's good for him,
That's
it's
right.
It's a balmy like 80
that
there
where
he's at. It's a balmy 7 degrees. It's 4.
Holy
it's 4
cow.
degrees right now with a wind chill of 20
it?
below. 4 degrees with a wind chill of 20 below.
Jeez. All right. So right now it is it 72?
Ooh.
72 right now.
My heart goes out to you.
There you go.
No,
it's 70. I'm sorry. It just refreshed, folks. I apologize.
Oh.
It's a balmy 70.
Wow. The cold has set in,
Yeah, overnight low is only going to be 56.
Oh, damn.
And it was 82 today. So
that's like Arctic blast coming your way there, buddy. So, all right.
Could be a lot worse. Look at Mandani. Holy cow. You got New Yorkers.
Dude.
I talked about this the other day. You've got New Yorkers freezing to death with no heat, no electricity. It's below zero there. And he's toasty in his New York mansion while these people are freezing. And there's shit and garbage like piled 6-7 feet high, miles long,
I was gonna
everywhere.
Say, can't the homeless just like burrow into the garbage that's stacked up about 4 stories high?
I mean, they probably are already. But think about what happens. These people could freeze because of this. And then in the summer, when it thaws out, the rats are going to be what? They're going to have a field day with all that garbage. You want to talk about spreading rodent diseases like hantavirus and things like that? You could see hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers die in the summer if they don't clean this shit up.
I mean, I'm not trying to laugh at them, but I mean...
Natural selection is a beautiful thing.
Right? And for those who don't know, like Josh and I both, literally you're talking about our stomping grounds, like, our home area there. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you got what you deserve. I don't know what else to say.
I said this in I think July. It was June or July. I think it was July, end of July. I said New Yorkers may have to experience the desperation, the disappointment, the depression, the despair, and the pain of what communism really looks like.
Yeah.
And once they do that, maybe they'll wake up. Maybe they'll be alive enough and long enough to wake up from this horrific mistake. I mean, think about it. It's been tried thousands and thousands and thousands of times. It's never been successful.
Yeah.
But yet somehow we're going to try it again with all the alternative media, with all the amounts of different media and social media and news channels and independent voices. You're seriously going to believe that somehow this shit is going to work again? You deserve what you get. I'm sorry.
Sorry. That's how I feel. I have, my heart does not go out to them. I say, good for you, and maybe you'll wake the hell up, dude. I mean, all right, we're all over the place, but let's be honest, man. The Northeast, New England. I mean, but there's New Hampshire. New Hampshire sucks. Okay. I hate to say it. It sucks. All right. And even my experience in northern Maine, it's like, damn, I thought that'd be the conservative part. I'm like, where are all the conservatives?
Too
You
close
know,
to Canada.
you got to cross the border to find the ones that love America. It's heartbreaking, man. And it's just like, there's nothing. I mean, you look at it, I mean, we're talking what? Virginia, which, I mean, I ain't like,
And Virginia's now left leaning. I remember in the 80s, Virginia was red.
Always.
Even in the 90s, it was red. Colorado was red in the 90s.
California was red in the 80s.
California was red in the 80s. I mean, it's sick.
Like
liberalism, collectivism, authoritarianism, totalitarianism, communism, whatever ism you want to put in front of it, is just evil. And it has to be not just defeated, demolished. And like I said before, it doesn't make any sense. We have gone to war to protect Americans. We've gone abroad and fought against communists in many, many countries around the world. Why are we allowing communists to be here? It doesn't make any sense. We go and fight communists in foreign countries, but yet it's okay to have them here? No. We need to bring back the committee on, Committee on Shitty Americans or whatever it was called, Un-American Committee. We need to bring that back, and we need to start shutting down these groups. All these groups need to be shut down. They all do.
I want the draft back personally. I mean, I'm a big proponent of that. You know, when they did the selective service thing and they made the announcement during the Biden time that now women have to register for the selective service as well, and it was like everybody was going crazy. I'm like, well, there's your equality that you wanted so badly. I think that's fantastic. You know, and of course,
it's kind of funny now with the ICE where they have the body cams.
Yeah,
and now the people are like, well, wait a minute, you're gonna catch us throwing shit at the cars. Yeah, we don't want those body cams. We don't want body cams. You know, it's like, you can't have it both ways, folks.
It is truly disgusting. And like God,
I know. It's like, where to even start?
I know.
It's like, and I swear I'm gonna do a show, and I don't want to give too much of it away, but I'm doing some research right now, and let's just say it has to do with the nose ring mafia. I'll leave it at that. But
like good little boulets.
And a little interesting deep dive on that coming
That's
up.
fantastic. I mean, if you think about it, it really is about subservience, right?
Well, that's part of it. I think it's more from a health standpoint. And how mental these people are.
But dude, we have to. Now, I don't even know if I should say this though, because it's kind of like a dick move. But I'm saying you got to come on Politishock again. But if we do a long conversation, we got to drop teases. But I don't know. I mean,
I mean, I could do that show too.
That would be I mean, that would be.
I wouldn't
fun.
be able to. It'd be too long for me to download to get up onto.
Come on, you can't download 6 hours quick. I mean,
No, not 6. not even 2, 2.5, 3 is even sometimes tough.
It's great. So the general public knows, like, we were texting back and forth, and it's like, he's like, great show. When you get a chance, send it to me. I already sent it because I could download this bitch and
you've got the equipment, and you can do it real quick. So, but I would do 2 hours with you, whatever.
Yeah,
no
okay.
Problem.
We should make a little special because then we can really just it'll be fun. I mean, this is the primary.
These are great too. Just covering whatever's going on and things like that. It'd be nice if we had questions coming in from the audience, but I guess we'll build it to.
That's what we should do. We'll put it out there to you.
Hell yeah.
You all in the chat room and all the people that are actually watching.
Or even sending Dan and me questions.
Yes.
And we don't give a shit what it is. We'll read them live. We won't even look at them beforehand.
Here.
We won't pull the Adam Kinzinger. When I was a national spokesperson for AMAC, Dan, may he rest in peace, he sent me to outside of Chicago in Adam Kinzinger's district. And it's a long story, so I'll kind of shorten it up. But basically, I was like the MC representing AMAC at this event. And we got to the point where Kinzinger comes out. And this is when, like, nobody really knew about him. This is a while back. And so he comes out, and he's like having questions and answers time, right? Well, I noticed that there was a big thing of different questions in this one little area, like this little box. But then the people out in the audience had red, yellow, or green little sticks that they were waving around in air. And I found out from watching this live and up front that he would not call on anyone with a question that had a red stick. So, in other words, he would only call mostly on green, easy softball questions, right? Or he would do a few of the yellow ones, no reds. So that's how you know, like some of these Democrat town halls or whatever they're called, they're completely staged. They're complete bullshit. You can't ask just any old question you want. And I'm not going to sit here and be naive and say it doesn't happen on the right too, because it probably does, especially with the rhinos, right? Clearly, he's a rhino Republican, so there's your proof that it does happen on the right. But I think it probably happens more on the Democrat side, but it does happen, and it's just a joke. It's like he would not call on the people that had read because those were quote dangerous questions that he didn't want to answer.
Such
crazy
a joke, man. I mean, like, whatever.
I know.
It's the whole illusion of free speech and the civil dialogue crap and everything else. It's disgusting. They're stacking the deck. They're staging it. They're doing everything that they do. It's just, and I've also had similar experiences of things I've seen, whether it's media rows, whether it's doing the radio row at the. I was at the
Turning Point.
Actually, long before I went to the Iowa caucuses for 2008, so I was there right after Christmas in 2007. We went there and we hosted a radio row, going after Mike Huckabee actually because he was soft on illegal immigration, and that's where he was big time. And we did a whole thing, and they're like, you can't, your people are not allowed to ask these questions, and these questions. And it was the perfect moment because Dr. Alan Keyes was right there, and he goes, my friend,
I love that guy.
I'm going to pray for you, but you know what you need to do with your rules? You need to stick them straight up your ass because the God not above won't have that. Like, I love you, Dr. Keyes.
I love Keyes. He's great. I interviewed him years and years and years ago, but just a phenomenal, conservative guy.
When he left the Republican Party, he bestowed the honor upon me of letting me host the event in Hazelden, Pennsylvania, where he gave his big speech. We had a packed house, and because he had come and spoken at many of my events, my rallies, and everything else from 2006 on. But he gave his speech while he was leaving the Republican Party, and it was 46 minutes of just it literally was like a Dr. King speech almost.
Yeah,
it was so epic.
He was smart.
He's
smart,
great, man. Guy is
really
freaking. He was before his time, man. And of course, then I
know, and that's the thing. I mean, he set the standard for Black conservatives.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And then of course you have Alan West that followed, and so many others, and of course the great Thomas Sewell. I mean, we can never forget him. But just saying in general, from a person that was running for president, like a J.C. Watts was a congressman in Oklahoma, I think. These were kind of like the bread breakers, so to speak. But if you look at history, the Republican Party has always had Black support
since the 1800s,
up until the 60s and all that with the one that killed JFK, LBJ, clearly killed JFK. So he's the one that really brought the left and the Black vote, synergy together by what? Giving them this. Here you go. Have some more freebies, right?
That's what they do. Build that whole.
That's all they do.
Generational dependence. Wait, we have a question from our guy in the audience there. What's up, brother? Do you guys think there is a pressure campaign in Congress for people to endorse Wesley Hunt to keep Ken Paxton out of the Senate seat?
Wow. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. But honestly, I wouldn't say Wesley Hunt because he's pretty darn conservative too, as well as Ken Paxton. Clearly, either one of those would be phenomenal. But I think this question would work better is, do you guys think there is a pressure campaign in Congress for people to endorse, what's that douchebag's name? The rhino. Corbin, or what's his name? Cornyn?
Cornyn.
I think it would say endorse Cornyn to keep Ken Paxton out of the Senate seat. That I would say yes to. This one, I'm not sure, but I love Wesley Hunt, and I absolutely love Ken Paxton.
Yeah, that's how I feel, because Ken Paxton's a freaking hero, and Wesley Hunt, man, I mean, I got to meet him, and he checked every box of this guy's legit. I mean, we shared some war stories and shit, but he's a great dude, man, and I mean, Tim Scott, I mean, here's a follow-up to that. I strongly suspect Tim Scott does not like the way Cornyn is slipping, so he's initiating an insurance policy, so to speak.
Could be.
I mean, because Tim Scott is...
I mean, look, President Trump endorsed Lindsey Graham this day.
Yes.
a while back. Why? And people were pissed. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. He needs the votes to get shit done, unfortunately, And if he doesn't, he can't get things done. How do you think the one big beautiful bill got through?
I know.
Because he had to, unfortunately, and again, it happens to all of them. That's why people ask me, when do you want to be a congressman? When do you want to run? Fuck no, I don't want to run for office. I don't want to be one of these people. I want to report on these people. I don't want to be one of these congressional critters. I want to stomp on them and expose them. It's more fun that way.
You're going to have to be ready to come to DC and do the show in person when I win the senatorial race.
If you become a senator in Maine, I'm there.
Okay, there we go. We're still keeping the apartment in Ohio, though, just FYI. I'm like, listen, at least I'm being honest.
I don't know how I would do it because my wife would kill me.
Well, we'll use public funds, fly you out, private jet, fly back. It's all good.
We'll see what happens. Let's see you win first.
Thank you.
Let's get you over the finish line.
That's right.
But yeah, I'd be your chief of staff.
That even better. Oh my God.
Or your press secretary. There you go. Dude, be your press secretary. Imagine that.
Listen, that would be epic.
Did you have to practice that question, or are you just that stupid?
Right?
I'd crush him, dude.
For our 4 days of being allowed to be in the Senate before they expel us, it'll be historical. All right?
Because I think it'd be awesome.
That'd be freaking great, dude.
I said
my day 2, they'd censure me and they'd try to get me out. Oh God, man.
Exactly.
You give me that open mic on the Senate floor, so we have immunity for anything we say here, right?
Right.
I don't want allies. I want enemies, because you're the enemy of freedom.
So I know that we're going to be wrapping up here, but we just came up with something new. From now on, telling everybody, my people, your people, send in questions.
Yes.
Send in questions, and then you can read them on screen, and that'll make the hour go bam, and it'll be more organic, and we'll talk about things what you guys want to talk about, not necessarily what we want to talk about, and we'll throw in some jokes and have some good times.
That'll be awesome. So right now, it's contact us at vopusaradio.com to email us questions. I'll do a separate email for the show, but I don't have it yet.
Or you can go the Josh Bernstein Show at gmail.com. I've had that one for years and years and years. But please join the Substack, jbushow.substack.com. 7 days a week, I do a show every single day. You get a copy of my book, Preserving Liberty, and you can join us on Thursday nights. You can join Dan. You could be another person with Dan joining on Thursday nights. And I just cover the things just like I cover things like now, just raw and just in your face and always accurate. So jbushow.substack.com.
On the bottom of the screen. And don't forget, I'll do it for him. Boom, there it is, in your face. He's pointing at you. He says, buy my shit.
Pointing at you.
He's pointing at you. You gotta look around you.
Here, I go like this.
There you go. There you go. Awesome, man. Well, hey, another great show, as always.
Another amazing show.
It went by way too quick.
It totally did.
And that's okay. But as always, love you, man. And
you got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, go to vopusaradio.com, watch us live there, download those apps on iOS and Android, watch us on Roku, Apple, Fire, Android TV, all that other crap, and the socials, whatever. I mean, if you're there, watch it. May they rot in hell always. I hate them. And
let's make it more interactive. Let's have your questions. Yes. We'll answer, at least 5-6 questions. I think we could probably get 5 or 6 in an hour. Maybe even more than that. 10, 15, I don't know.
We can rock it. So load us up. Email us.
And we'll just throw them in, and we'll just, boom, 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 boom. That'll be a lot more fun. I mean, this is great, too, just the way we're doing it. But let's see what they have to say.
I like it.
What's on their mind?
See, Josh is a man for the people. Me, I hate you all. No, I love you.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people like, oh, this has to be strict and structured, and we can talk about this, but don't ask me that. And don't talk. We can talk about that, but don't ask me about this. I always say the same thing. If you can't talk about it all, you shouldn't be in front of a camera.
Amen, man.
Amen.
Well, with that, all right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, this is us, Rage of Aquarius, checking out. I have a quick little video to play for you at the end here that was recorded by this woman named Hollis Mahady Smeriglio. Poor woman. And it's a special message to
She's working hard.
She's always working hard, man. The crap she pumps out. I don't want to say crap.
We love Hollis. She's great.
She's amazing, man. And she's just constantly going.
And I did get that email a couple of days ago. Things have been a little bit crazy. and I will get that, and I'll answer back on that.
Oh, dude. No,
she's
God bless,
producing,
man.
so she can hear this.
No, I appreciate it, man. Well, thank you. And everybody else, this has been The Rage of Aquarius. Enjoy the video. Then we're going to the outro. I'll see you on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Polita Shock. And who knows? Maybe my boy will jump on. I mean, he's invited. I mean, I'm just saying. Put any pressure on him. But, on the fly.
Send me the link. You never know what happens.
There you go. Love it, man. Thank you as always. And I'll talk to you soon, brother.
You got it, man.
Two types of people. The ones who say, let's work together, let's collaborate, let's help each other. But what they really mean is, what can you do for me? Will this serve my brand? Will what you're doing benefit me? And then there are the rare few. The ones who understand that real collaboration and helping each other isn't just one-sided. Doesn't mean just using someone else. They're the ones that give as much as they take. This is the part where most people keep on scrolling because we're not looking for the self-entitled, the self-absorbed, the ones who disguise self-promotion as purpose, the ones who call it community but show up when there's only something in it for them. Sadly, that's the majority. And we're not looking to build with the majority. We're building with a few. The ones who don't translate, let's help each other, into you build it and I'll benefit. The ones who know that you could pursue your own success without turning every relationship into a transaction. The ones who understand that when strong individuals actually unite, not to compete against each other, but to strengthen and support one another. The impact is bigger than doing it individually alone. If you're doing only for you, for your self-interest, this might feel uncomfortable. This isn't for many of you out there. Ego builds followers. Purpose builds movements. And we here at Voice of the People USA are building a movement. Rage of Aquarius with your hosts, Dan Smeriglio and Josh Bernstein, every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network. Download our apps on Android and Apple to never miss a show. Watch at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Roku TV, Fire TV, and Android TV, or visit VOPUSARadio.com.